Well, I couldn't leave it alone. I went to the store. I was hoping that they would have had an AGM gel type, but they didn't. So, got a battery. We're gonna get this set up real quick. And charging, so this will be good to go tomorrow morning. Well, tomorrow afternoon. Well, I don't know when. This will be queued up and charged when I have time to mess with this again. Came with acid, so all we gotta do is tear this off. I don't think I've ever done battery stuff like this. I've been using the AGM stuff for the longest time. As of late, as long as I can get one that fits, I like them a lot better. But rip off your sticker, open up your acid, maybe. And then we're gonna let this sit for a while. Typically come kind of plugged like that, and each of these has little posts on it. Set it on a hard surface, let it drain, just like that. So, it's definitely not the best battery in the world. It's just a cheapo Menards one, but it was like 50 bucks, 58 bucks or something like that. But that should work just fine. So I'll let that acid go in there. And then I will let this sit for about a half hour or so before we put the charge on it. And then I'll drop the seal on top of that, and we should be good to go once that's all done. So let this drain in. Kind of want to tap it a little bit and get all the air bubbles out too. But we'll let that fill. Tap, 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 and then leave it open to vent. You want all the air bubbles that it's going to put in there to rise to the top before you do your final seal. So there's that. Then I will leave that on the charger overnight, and then hopefully we can see what this thing wants to do tomorrow or the day after, because I got a blasting job and I got to get all of this stuff. Well, I got to get prepped for a mobile thing, so I got to load my truck up tomorrow afternoon. It's been about a week since I've been able to get up here. I never tried test fitting this battery that we had charging. It doesn't fit in the tray. It's a 1/4 inch too big. So that kind of sucks. I don't mind, it's a pretty standard battery. I don't mind having one on the shelf as a backup, but still, that was unfortunate. So I tried unbolting the tray here to gap it out a little bit. It's literally a 1/4 inch too big, but we got that hooked back up. I don't have any fuel going to this yet, but I did want to test this out and see if it'll crank over, because why not? So let's test that first. Unfortunately, the starter button's broken, so see if it cranks, and then maybe I'll add a fuel line to it. Come on. All right, let me grab a punch. Something that won't arc out all over the thing. I will need to put a start button in here. Come on. Oh, how am I going to do this? I need something bigger. The button itself broke off. So, screwdriver. I also don't know what's going to short out on the housing. No crank. Huh. Well, that's neat. Jump this to the hot too, just in case. Is it clutch safety? Still don't have headlights or horn. Is there a kickstand switch? That's not good. Okay. Well, that was disappointing. We're actually going to have to look at some stuff on here. I was really hoping that would at least crank. Just shorting out on the housing. All right, this is gonna be a bigger project, but that's where we're at on the Cowie. We at least have a charged battery, even though it's wrong. But now we get to figure out why nothing wants to work. Neat. Free bike. Great. Nothing can just work, right? Well, I couldn't leave it alone. So I popped that little panel off, starter relays right there. We're gonna see if this cranks. This might be a bad idea. I didn't really check or do any of the wiring, but we got the relay here, so there we go. I'm guessing it's something on the trigger wire, but so she cranks. Sounds fine. I'm guessing that won't give any ignition, but cranking's working. It's just not our button, which should be this yellow and red wire that runs down through here. So let me pull a plug and check for spark. The ignition key is on, so that should be okay. I don't know if there's any circuits that need to go through there. And again, there's no fuel or, maybe I got some starting fluid. Let's see if this thing will go pop pop on some fluid, maybe. Not very optimistic about it, but we'll just pull the first plug. Get spark on one of these with the ignition on. And if we do, then we'll throw some juice in here. At least some starting fluid, and see if I can get it to pop off if I have starting fluid. If not, we'll try some brake clean. All the vacuum ports on the carbs are off, so plugs actually don't look bad. So we'll check for spark real quick. Set that on the cylinder. Put you guys right here. Hopefully that shows up on camera. No spark. Which makes sense because I'm pretty sure there's a relay in series here somewhere. Nothing. Whole lot of nothing. Cool. Oh, didn't even have the key on. Whoops. Let's try that again. Whew. There's spark. Okay, this might actually run. For a brand new battery though, that sure didn't get a lot of cranks out of it. I know I'm running it sideways, which you're not supposed to do, but all right, I'm gonna throw this on a charger. It's supposed to be AGM-ish, but we'll throw this on a charger, and then when we come back, we'll try and throw some fluid in here. I think we're taking the van up to a stupid chopper show today. I wanted to ride up, but we got a wedding tomorrow, and I know if we take a bike up, Dottie's back is wrecked, and then it's a miserable day tomorrow. So I think I'll be the good significant other, and we'll just take the van out. We haven't driven the van in quite a while, so we'll see. I'll get some footage of the chopper show too, so we'll catch you on the next one.